Alright guys, so now we're into the last week of Shock and Awe. I don't know about you, but the first 2 weeks left me busted up. We typically do a lot of upper back and upper body pressing and pulling, but the high-end sets that we programmed into Shock and Awe have really tested me. And I really like how the reps-based sets kind of turn into a rest pause. So in that way, we can get a lot of intensity, a lot of volume, but we can cut the time in the gym literally in half. So I really like that. But today is upper body day. It's the heavy pressing, the heavy bench, where we get a percentage and we're pressing every minute on the minute. Now, in the video I show Adam pressing. He's a lot stronger than me, but what I did was, for my sets, I worked up and I pressed to a foam roller. So if you've been to our CPPS certification or you've watched any of our DeFranco Insider videos, you know that one of the ways you can regress the bench press itself is to press the boards or to a foam roller. I like the foam roller because it has a little give to it, and if you use it right, it gives you a little pop out of the hole. So I benched to a foam roller, but I did my sets every minute on the minute. We went to the upper back variation. I didn't change a thing because this variation that we chose was absolutely brutal. And for me to get the reps, there's a finite number of reps, so I used a lot heavier weight. Then we went to a band pull-apart variation. Now, Joe showed him straight out, the typical variation that you're used to. I showed a different variation I use with younger guys or younger athletes just to keep them honest. So a lot of the times we go into a band pull apart variation, a lot of young athletes don't know what it is to maintain position or a good neutral alignment of their torso. So they'll go into extension as they move into that lateral fly variation. So I'll show you a variation that fixes that and keeps them honest, but makes the band pull apart very hard. Finally, we end with a tricep push down variation. Since I use tricep push downs on the cable stack for the vanity day, I show an extension variation. You can mix this up. We're just trying to target all the accessory muscle groups that build a big bench or build better pressing. So check it out. We're gonna head into the gym now, and I'll see you guys in there.